All right. True Mahan Bowen, your friendly neighborhood American Indian. And we are Black Panthers, right? Part 12. Part 12. Um, so we've seen the fall of what the civil rights could actually accomplish. We've seen the assassination of Malcolm X, which was like a huge hero to a lot of urban African Americans who were left in poverty after all the jobs were shifted back, right, away from them to, or closed down when World War II was over and the soldiers came back. We also had a ton of soldiers coming back from World War II fighting fascism, fighting Nazis, winning the Olympics, showing Hitler and his stupid little square brownie mustache like, fuck you, African Americans can do just as well or better at anything, right? I mean, come on. They come back and there's still racism and fascism back in the United States. Malcolm X is assassinated. Huey Newton and Bobby Seale over in Northern California, right? They are studying the law and they are now policing the police because in Oakland, right, they're being brutalized and criminalized, right? Something that started long before the CIA introduced crack cocaine into America to try to criminalize and disrupt the power movements there. Long before that, the police were already making it a crime to be young, male, and black, and even female. And we talked a little bit about what LBJ refused and the Democrats refused to seat, right? African Americans from Mississippi who were Democrats who had a right to vote. And so now everybody's fed up with trying to do it peacefully. It looks like if you want power, you're going to have to take it. You're going to have to take power. And so Huey Newton, Bobby Seale read these books. They learn open carry. Anybody, right? It's constitutional right. California, open carry arms, and you can, within a reasonable distance, observe the police. And observe the police they did. They went and followed cops that were going into their neighborhoods, right? Cops from the outside, white officers who were harassing, brutalizing, shaking down lawful citizens in these urban communities. They were now being policed, and they were losing the battle a little bit against an armed Huey Newton and a legally armed Bobby Seale. With, people don't know this, they carried a book around with them, which was a law book, so they could show the cops, the pigs, whatever you want to call it, hey, we're following the law, and so should you. 2 years after Malcolm X's death, right, Black Power movement is growing, and there's an art movement, and there's something that's called the Black House, and also there's also a RAM affiliated Black Panther Party. And so, hold on a second, let me change the picture. So yeah, this is Ed Bullins, and there was also Marvin Jackman and Willie Dale, and they founded something called Black House, which was a black arts, right? There's a gentleman, his last name is Barack, who, I'm probably mispronouncing the name, but anyway, in San Francisco Bay Area, Black House was a place for poets and musicians and playwrights to start pushing sort of this black power and the black arts on this side of the coast. They are also with a sort of RAM affiliated Black Panther Party. And what they wanted to do is legitimize themselves here on the West Coast. And what they thought would be real cool, right, was to have a memorial for Malcolm X 2 years afterwards, right? And by the way, February 21st, 1967 is when Malcolm X was murdered. And everybody should check out, right, just recently in the news, that the CIA is being sued by the Shabazz family because some new facts and documents and evidence have come to light. Anyway, that's true. Look it up. In any event, right, they wanted to have this memorial, have Malcolm X's wife, Miss Betty Shabazz, to come out and speak and legitimize Black House and the RAM-affiliated Panther Party. Now, it should be no shock to anyone. This is Mrs. Shabazz here. It should be no shock to anyone that if Miss Shabazz was going to come out and start doing memorials or speaking about the legacy of Black Power and how important it is, one could imagine that her security would be of the utmost importance, right? Soon there would be a target on her because she was continuing or not stopping the work that she was already doing alongside her partner in life, who was assassinated, right? And so what they did was they had flown her out, right? They arranged for her to come to San Francisco Airport, the Golden Gate, right? And so for her security, they got Newton and Seal's Black Party for Black Panther Party for self-defense to do the security for Miss Shabazz. And they were wearing their iconic Black Panther uniform, the black berets and the leather jackets and the powder blue shirts, right? And then about 3:05 p.m., right, the Panthers, led by Newton, right, entered the lobby of the San Francisco airport, and they were displaying guns. I mean, really think about that. Right? Bobby Seale, Huey Newton, they walked in to pick up Miss Shabazz and protect her. And when they entered the San Francisco International Airport, they were openly brandishing firearms. I mean, really think about that, right? That would not fly right now. And the airport security, in fact, tried to stop him. Was like, hey, what's going on, right? And the Panthers whipped out the law book, right? And they let them know, like, it's legal. There's no rules against us carrying our guns. And they went right on to American Airlines or whatever it was, Flight 47, to wait for Miss Shabazz and escort Miss Shabazz to Ramparts offices, right? Now, Ramparts is a Catholic magazine that originally was set up to be anti-Vietnam. If you don't know anything about Ramparts, I might do a little bit about it, but pretty impressive magazine. Super counterculture, super confrontational, super legit. So, in any event, one of the officers seen, these African Americans with the berets and the guns or whatever. His name was Chuck Banks, right? He pushed Huey Newton. Huey Newton grabbed him, right? And pushed that reporter back against the wall. Cops got alerted, right? They run in. Now you gotta remember, it's tense, right? You gotta remember, this is racial tension, guns, Black Panthers pushing white reporters up against the wall because they're being aggressive. It's all of a sudden, right? Everyone's freaking out. So the the cops like flip off the little straps, right? Like getting ready to draw. And then Newton stopped and stared right at one of the cops, and he walked right up into his grill, right? And Newton got a centimeter from the foot, like you could feel the cops nose heat, right? And so what's the matter? Got an itchy trigger finger, right? And the cop, it's high noon, but it's on California, San Francisco at the airport. And the cop didn't do anything. And then Newton said, okay, you big, fat, racist pig, draw your gun. He said, now, you cowardly dog. And he pumped around into the chamber. And the cop backed it down. And Eldridge Cleaver pumped his fist and said, that is the baddest motherfucker around. And that's when Huey Newton started to be pushed into the limelight of the Black Panther movement because he had true grit.